offhanded or symbolic. Think about the fact that guy's got, an extra 10 to 15 pounds of weight on his feet. And he just does that because it works for him. And then he takes the weights off after a few songs and goes faster. But, yeah, no, it's all about ergonomics. I mean, jazz guys, they're real tight and they're real concise and they're real staccato and, like, you know what I'm saying? Everything's small movements with them, And with rock music and metal music, sometimes you really want to lay into them drums and you really want to, like, really throw your whole body into it, It's a lot more physical than playing something that's laid back. It's like jazz or blues, And, like I said previously, ergonomics is really important. And some people don't like practicing with a metronome. Some do. But
what are you doing to that child?
He didn't go to his bedtime, so he freaks out and screams. But, oddly enough, if I give him a drumstick, it makes him happy. Here. Okay, maybe not today.
He's like, no, I want to be on the radio show. It's my turn.
Yeah. No, I mean, with any instrument, you have to, there's guitars that are 22 frets, and then there's guitars with jumbo frets. And, like baritone guitars, for example, the frets, they're larger, the necks are longer. All instruments have to accommodate to your physicality. Like you can buy any amp and you can buy any guitar, but if you're playing it wrong, it's gonna cramp up your hand, your wrist, your forearm. I don't play guitar, but I can imagine that, like, if it's set up wrong, your hands are just gonna cramp to shit. You know what I mean? If you buy a guitar with huge jumbo sets and you have small fingers, you're not going to be able to set it that well. It's the same thing where if you buy a 9-piece Pearl drum set for like $2,000, out of the box, and you're like 4'11", and you're playing Blink-182, you don't need a 9-piece drum set, but you can have it. But you just gotta be realistic and tailor your drums to you.
So, what's this you say? Just because I bought a $2,000 drum set, that doesn't make me a good drummer?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that, huh?
So,
I could, like, right now, I'm getting my drums custom made by a drum manufacturer, and, he's well known throughout the drum world. But, but I've been playing for, 20 years now, and, like, I'm not saying that you can't buy an expensive drum set off the bat. Eric Clapton could sound good on one of those Sears guitars with the speaker built into it. And it's more with, it's because of his touch and because of his knowledge and grace on the instrument. You know what I mean? Like, you could spend, $600 or whatever the hell it is on an Iron Cobra, and you could spend, $2,000 on a cymbal setup, and you could spend, even drums, you can get really ridiculously expensive with stuff, But if you don't know what you're doing, like, you're not going to get in a Formula One race car and expect to fly around the track because you're in a Formula One race car, I guess.
Right. Well, that's some good information. Let's see. We're at 12 minutes now. Can you believe it?
Overextended our time limit.
Yeah,
we have to break this one up. Sure.
Yeah, this one's gonna be broke up. So, I guess my next question is to you. Outside of drum set, is there any technique, as far as you mentioned stamina? Is there any technique that they can do away from the drums to help build stamina? Whether you feel it's walk more, run, ride a bike. I know the drummer from Lamb of God.
The drummer, Chris Adler from Lamb of God rides his bike to practice every day. He rides it. It's something like 5 miles or something. And I can only speak from a drummer's perspective. Stretching, like when I used to play soccer when I was a kid, we stretched every day. And if we didn't stretch, man, running around for 45 minutes, period or whatever, stretching, like, there's something I learned in jiu-jitsu where if you stretch your wrist out, like you take your one hand, you put it on the top of your other hand, and you push your wrist down towards the ground, or you do that, and then you do that with the other hand, and then you put your hand in the palm of your other hand, and you push up, like you push your wrist the opposite way that it's supposed to go. or you grab your hand and you twist it in the opposite way that it's supposed to. You basically, like, you're almost hyperextending, you know, in a way. Like,
you're
like you got to think about you're preparing your body to undergo something that's just as physical as running a marathon. Like, I don't remember who said it. It was some death metal drummer, though. But he said, you know, like playing a whole hour and a half, 2 hour set like death metal or thrash metal, that's running 5 miles. You know what I mean? Like, we sweat just as much as those guys do. You know what I mean? Like, our legs hurt just as much, or, you know, shouldn't hurt if we stretch out, but get just as tired from, like, you know, running around playing soccer or like running around playing basketball. You don't think that playing, you know, 64th notes on some double bass drums at, you know, 180 to 100 beats per minute, 200 beats per minute. You know, jump on a drum set and try to play 200 beats per minute without stretching or without preparing yourself. You're going to be total garbage and you're going to wear out, you know? The key to any metal drumming is stamina. And like, you know, if you watch some up-and-coming metal band or even an established one, if their drummer's crap and the drummer's falling off, they're going to make the whole band sound good no matter how many amazing guitar solos or, like, no matter how much growling or screaming the singer does. If the drummer falls off, if the drummer falls off, you know, it's just going to throw the whole thing off, you know what I mean?
So bottom line, you know, just for everybody, you know, stretch it and some exercise is definitely.
You know, like the whole butter stretch thing. Like, I'm not a big fan of standing up and leaning over and touch your toes because, you know, I don't like on, but I don't like, you know, like I just don't do that. Like I do the whole wrist thing, and then, or like, I put my hand behind my back and pull it down towards the ground to stretch out my shoulders. You know, they're all different. You know, online you just look up stretching. You know. Something like that, and you can find. Think about it as preparing for a sport, or prepare, you know, and that's what, you know. Do I stretch every single time I go to sit down at the drums? No, but like if I'm like, man, I'm going to work on a lot of double bass, and I'm going to really push myself today, you know, even if it's not double bass, even if it's like a jazz pattern where like there's a lot of, you know, intricate stuff. If I feel like, you know, at any point that I'm going to be pushing myself hard that day, yeah, I stretch for sure.
Well, I guess that's all for right now. I'm sure you'll be on many more times in the future. And it sounds like Aiden wants to be in it too.
Hold on, maybe it's my phone. Say that again?
I said, well, that's pretty much it for right now, and I'm sure I'm going to have you on many times in the future. And I said that Aiden sounded like he wanted to be in it too. We need to have an Aiden special. That'd be pretty funny.
I would say, bottom line, you know, like I said at the top of the show, or the interview, whatever you want to say, yeah, ergonomics, like figuring out how you want to set up your drum set, you know, to your body, stretching and preparing before, you know, like a sport. If you want, you know, I suggest playing with a metronome because, you know, if you can play with a metronome, you know how on time you are because the electronic metronome does not lie. You know what I mean? And just practice and realize, like anything, like martial arts, like anything, like you're not going to be good the first time. You're not going to be good the first 5 times. You know, the only people that do, like, you know, there's composers that wrote symphonies at 5 years old, but does that happen every day? No. So, you know, and the other thing, like I said, that really always helped me, find your favorite songs, find your favorite albums, favorite band, whatever, and find songs that you feel that are like find one that could be easy, find one that would be a little more challenging, and find one that you feel there's no way I could play this without a lot of practice. Work on those, and then develop your own exercises with your own beats or variations on those beats. That's what I did. So.
Well, thanks a lot for being on, and hope to hear from you soon.